So one of the common rallying cries of the AR industry is that the technology's use in ubiquitous smartphones makes it a strong forebear to AR's eventual manifestation in glasses form. And we stand by that conceptually in that mobile AR is conditioning consumers to AR. But another device class could have an equal or greater impact towards that same end, and that's wearables. And this is the topic of the latest artillery intelligence report. So the thought is that devices like Apple Watch and AirPods are conditioning consumers to wear sensors on their bodies and thus acclimate to the cultural paradigm shift that will be required for face-worn tech acceptance. It'll need that extra push. And this all becomes amplified by higher stakes. So wearables continue to be one of the fastest growing consumer tech segments in year-over-year growth, including mostly smartwatches and hearables such as Apple AirPods and its equivalents. And they're even performing well during a pandemic, though sales are down slightly as expected. But beyond consumer demand for wearables, tech giants are embracing the product category as it aligns with their roadmaps and growth strategies. So the best example there is Apple, which is particularly motivated towards wearables because they offset iPhone sales declines as the broader smartphone market continues to mature. So to put that into perspective, Apple's year-over-year wearables growth is almost to the point of offsetting year-over-year iPhone sales declines. And wearables also represent a longer-term strategy for Apple to maintain and future-proof its multi-device ecosystem approach, which will consist of a sort of interoperable constellation of watch and AirPods and soon smart glasses. So collectively, the idea is that they'll achieve a holistic sensory augmentation where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and you're sort of motivated to complete the set, which is classic Apple. So Google's another example. It's motivated towards wearables to maintain a direct touchpoint to consumers. And this was the same strategy, notably, that drove Google's investments in the Android operating system many years ago. So just like mobile devices, Google can position itself closer to users' bodies as a sort of Trojan horse for search. Now, its execution has been somewhat tepid with the underperforming Pixel Buds and its Fitbit acquisition, but Google's strength is superior software to run on that hardware for intelligent personal assistant functions. So for example, Google Assistant has the edge given that Apple's Achilles heel and its wearables play is the sometimes laughably dysfunctional Siri. So Google just needs to catch up with the hardware or support a third-party hardware ecosystem, again, just like Android. And the list goes on. So Amazon is motivated for similar reasons as Google in terms of a direct consumer touchpoint as a Trojan horse for its core business, which of course is e-commerce. And that's the same thing driving its smart speakers and IoT devices. Meanwhile, Microsoft is motivated to create deeper user integrations for its core product, which is enterprise productivity. And that includes its Surface Buds, which create deeper integrations to Office products, such as language translation or controlling a slide presentation through voice commands. Then there's Facebook, where wearables definitely fit with its overall spatial computing efforts to acclimate users towards its wearable VR headsets and eventual AR glasses. And its Project Aria is doing just that by feeling out AR glasses' social dynamics and considerations. And notably, Snapchat is doing the same thing by expressly acclimating the world for its eventual AR glasses by testing the waters of social acceptance and UX design through its spectacles. So that just scratches the surface, and you can read more in the full report, but the main takeaway is that wearables cultural traction could give consumer AR glasses a softer landing when they arrive on a mass scale. And it's also worth noting that COVID-era lockdowns have created supply chain impediments, but the impact will mostly be felt in the near term, and the wearable sector will be back on track by mid-2021 to continue paving the way for AR glasses.